concrete. Have you ever found yourself in an unexpected leadership position? Maybe you volunteered to lead the Sunday school class and became the Sunday school program director instead. Maybe you missed a crucial meeting at work, only to find you had been nominated to lead the next big project due next month. Maybe you joined Toastmasters to become a better speaker, only to find yourself volunteered to be the next club officer. You woke up one morning, looked in the mirror, and thought, yikes, I'm a leader now. Now what? Today's session is for everyone wondering, now what? I am a leader. Where do I begin? Please welcome tonight's speaker, Sondra Nunez, the leader within. Your journey begins now.
Tell me what it feels like when you hear this. You are a leader. Vina, I think it's time you fulfilled your potential. Stepped up into a leadership role. What do you say to that? Every time someone said to me, Sondra, you're absolutely a leader. When are you going to come on up to the team? And in my mind, I thought, what in the world is a leader? What does it mean? How does a leader look? How does a leader dress? Am I okay to wear jeans again? Or is it just business attire from this point forward? Because you all know how I feel about denim. It is good for every occasion. I had been a leader in Toastmasters, I guess what people call a leader in Toastmasters, for a long time, grappling with this question. Am I a leader? What does it mean to be a leader? Because we're using the term leader not just in Toastmasters, but in our everyday life, at our job. We lead our families. We have leadership positions in our community. So I spent some time researching what it means to be a leader, and this is what I found. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. I'll say it again. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. John Quincy Adams. Now in the next 25 minutes, we're going to talk a little bit about this idea of now you're the leader. What do you do next? I'm sure Erica probably wondered when we said to her after just a very brief time in our club, she had been the sergeant at arms for a year, and we told her, you absolutely make the best president this club has ever seen. Just say yes. And she did. Erica, did you know what to do?
I still don't.
None of us getting better. It's getting better. Today we're going to talk about 3 things that I have learned through my Toastmaster leadership journey that you can use right away to either start your team, especially if you've got one going on at work. If you all know Zach, he has proven that these work at his job because he routinely tells me, Sondra, when I'm in meetings and I'm faced with a situation, I often think to myself, what would Sondra do?
Oh my God.
And I'm about to share with you the 3 things that I have come to believe in are a very tried and true way to go when it comes to building a team. I hope you like the first one. It's on your handout. Team success is driven by your vision. Team success is driven by your vision. Have you ever tried to start any project without an idea of what you were trying to accomplish? I do it all the time. You think, right? You think you want to paint your house. I want to paint my house. You think you can just run down to the store, grab any color you want, get a few items that you're going to use, and presto, the project is going to be exactly what you wanted. Right up until you realize that when you're putting that paint on your house, that you really didn't get the mauve that you thought you did, but you got some bubblegum paint going on. That actually happened to me in a bedroom at my house. Poor planning. We need a vision. You've heard this quote. If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you. You have to start by knowing where you want to go. And on this handout, for your review later, is how you do that, how you go about creating a vision statement. Even if you have one just for yourself, or for your family, or your work team. You all know that Jane and Zach and I were on team together, and I had been on trio more years than they had. It was their first year when we were on team. And the one vision that I had for our team is that we would be better friends at the end of the journey than at the beginning. That is a vision that we held to. We had our work to do. You have your work to do. But part of being on team, and to me the most important part, is the part where you're building relationships for the future. At your work, you may be on team with someone today, and you think, that's it, I'm never going to see you again, right up until you got a promotion, and the person that you didn't like on your team is now on your next team. It's really, really important to figure out how to get along with and work well with the people that are on your team. And that's why I created that vision for us. We would measure everything that we were doing by that vision. How we treated each other, what we wanted to accomplish, by the fact that we wanted to be better friends at the end of the journey than at the beginning. These are the kind of things I'm talking about. When you create your vision, you're setting your idea of what your future looks like. It's really important to know you can create your future and the future of your team simply by setting your vision in motion. So super important. Number one, team success is driven by your vision. Point number two, bring the fun or your team will run. In our district, the year that I was the Lieutenant Governor of Marketing, we had a lot of club leads. And for many who don't know what Lieutenant Governor of Marketing, now Club Growth Director, does, your job is to help build clubs in our district. Clubs just like this. And you need a lot of people to do it. You don't build 10, 15, 20 clubs in a year by yourself. And in that year, our region advisor, Jim Coley, came through, and we spent all day in the car, driving all over this district, which runs from Manteca. I actually met him in Manteca at 7 a.m. After that meeting, we drove up to Grass Valley for a noon meeting, and then came back to Sacramento Hotel to work on cold calling and marketing and all the skills that it was his job to train me. And after hours and hours of listening to him share with me how I needed to make cold calls and do marketing, I finally just said, Jim, I have club leads more than I can ever build. What I don't have is any people. In that year, we were really struggling to get people to work with us at the district level. for many reasons. And without skipping a beat, Jim turns to me and he says, Sondra, you have got to make it look like you're having so much fun that everyone will want to join you. These are words to live by. You've got to make it look like you're having so much fun that everyone will want to join you. For those of you who know me over the next few years and watched us on social media, I really tried to take that to heart. I know it probably looked like we weren't doing that much work. We certainly were having a good time. It was designed on purpose to show the people of this district, the leaders that we were trying to attract, that it's fun. Not only is it the greatest learning and growth experience of your life to serve at the district level, but it is a ton of fun. You meet so many people. You learn more than you ever thought possible. And you have a lot of fun. And that's a piece that I think is, you know, we own our own business, and I see that missing in our drivers sometimes. When they're feeling like we haven't paid enough attention to them, or we are separated from them somehow. My husband and I own a company, Mountain Valley Petroleum. We have 25 employees. And they really do need us to be connected to them. We need to be connected to all of our teams, everywhere. And having fun is the way you do it. We're having a potluck tonight. Does anyone want to volunteer, Vina? Other ways that clubs can have fun together.
Invite someone really fun to come and give a speech, which you've never heard before. It could be a celebrity, it could be a TV personality, it could be somebody like Darren LaCroix, George, or we have a clown in-house. He could actually give some kind of a presentation to make it more fun. We could host an open house, have more people come show up. I can rattle on more.
I have hosted tons of meetings at my house. Dinners, Christmas parties, potlucks, you name it, you can host it at your house. You can meet outside of the club, and you can do that with your other teams too. I don't know how it works at your job, but when you're mentoring people, you meet one-on-one. So you get to know people, and I think that's really the basis of this idea of having fun together. That when you're having fun together, when you're learning and enjoying, you're building trust. And who said that? Trust is a must. Jackie Bates used to quote that line all the time. I can't think of who said it, but Jackie, one of our good friends, Jackie Bates, always used to say that in the year that she was the district governor, that trust is a must. Let that be part of your team vision. It was part of mine, to be better friends at the end of the journey than at the beginning. The way that we did that is that we learned how to trust each other. We're going to talk about that in point number 3. So point number 2, bring the fun or your team will run. Point number 3, this is my absolute favorite point. Breathe life into your team with love. Sounds kind of hokey, huh? I mean, after all, we just met. How are you really supposed to love me? You don't even know me. This isn't the kind of love like, oh, I've met my life partner, right? You might be on team with someone for a month. It's pretty hard to build that kind of love in a few days, although some people say they do it. The kind of love that I'm talking about is the kind that says that you put your teammate above yourself. Every time. Every person on the team. Care more about them and their success than you do about your own. You will work a tremendous amount more if you're working for the success of someone else than you might for yourself. You might slack off if it's just for you. Oh, I can do it later. But if your team is depending on you, you'll be a lot more motivated to get your work done and to reach your goals. So that's one aspect of it, is to put your teammates before yourself. The second aspect of it, and this I learned from Region Advisor, now International Director, Jen Lewis. She gave us a brilliant speech at convention one year about making deposits into people, right? We've just met, we have 1 month to be on team. And if I can make deposits in you, right? If I can say, thank you for showing up. I appreciate that you're here. I'm so happy that we're working together. The day that you have to make a withdrawal, screaming at your teammate, that happens. Being angry and frustrated with each other, it will go much easier for your team because you put so many deposits into someone that when you need to make a withdrawal, they'll let it happen. They will let that one moment when you got mad because they didn't sharpen your pencil correctly, or the paper header wasn't on just right, they'll let it go. Because you love each other, you care about each other, and you can forgive each other. And this idea of making deposits and withdrawals is something that I hope that you take with you. It's something that has stuck with me ever since Joan shared it. I measure everything that I'm doing by it now on any team, and it brings up the last point that I want to talk about when it comes to love. And for some of us, you guys know me, you know that this is hard for me, and it's the word forgive. I've talked about that a lot in my speeches. And in prior teams, we struggled together to make deposits into each other, and we struggled to forgive each other. When it was my turn to be the director, I knew that I didn't want to have those things happen again. I wanted to figure out how 3 people who did not know each other, so if that's your situation at work, that was our situation. We had never worked with each other. We barely knew each other. We only knew of each other, really. And suddenly you're thrown in to this place where you're working with each other day and night. You're trying to create your team success plan. You're trying to meet district goals and figure out how to do it. And you're on the road with each other in the car day after day. At least that's how it used to be here. Not anymore. If you can forgive one another, that is when everything opens up for the success of your team. And I'll tell you how I did it and why it was important to me. When you're a leader, after you've been one for a while, you get blamed for a lot of things. Everything. Man, if somebody wore a purple skirt and they thought it was blue, it is your fault. If you just let yourself say, you are right. I am sorry. I'm sorry that the expectation that you have wasn't met today. At first it was hard, because as a director you get blamed for a lot that you weren't there, nor have you never heard of, nor know anything about. But it's your job to take that, to take it in. It's your job to help that teammate with their problem. Their problem is your problem. It gets easier the more that you allow yourself to do it. And the key to it is once you can say, I'm sorry. You're right. I made a mistake. Suddenly, the teammates who don't know you or trust you are absolutely free to do the same thing. Now they don't mind so much to admit that maybe it was their fault that they wore a purple skirt. Maybe they could have done a better job of getting dressed in the lights. And now, everyone is free to speak in their truth, because now you trust each other. And the truth, who says that? The truth will set you free? Oh yes. When it comes to having a team, you need to be at the truth. The foundation comes from trust, which comes from being able to forgive each other and being able and comfortable enough within yourself to just admit that you were wrong. It's fine. We all make mistakes. It's the leader who can't admit it that struggles securing their team. Forgiveness is one of the greatest lessons that I learned and that I continue to learn in this journey of leadership. Those are the things that I hope that you will think about when you need to start something. There isn't any project, there isn't anything that you're going to do in life that you absolutely are saying to yourself, I don't need a vision for that. You do need a vision for it. You do. It'll make the whole process so much smoother. Make it fun. Do you all like to be a part of something that's not fun? No. Who wants to not be having fun? Your teammates want to have fun. If you're having fun, they will work with you. They will follow you to the end of that project. And best of all, love your team. It really is the key that unlocks every success that you will have in the future. Love your team. And